Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good morning, dear students. I hope you are doing great. I hope you are fine. And this is Ms. Zunaira, your science teacher, and I warmly welcome you back to the class of science. So let's begin today's lecture. Dear students, as you all know that in our last class we have started a new chapter, and the name of the new chapter was How Our Brain Works, in which we have learnt about the brain, the parts of brain. This is our chapter number 4 and it is on page number 27. So let's continue our chapter. So as you have been told in the last class that we are going to learn some of the things listed here, and these are components of nervous system, parts of brain, spinal cord, types of nerve cells, reflex action and sense organs, from which components of nervous system we have completed, parts of brain we have learned, and spinal cord. Now, in today's class, we are going to learn about nerve cells and the types of nerve cells. So let's get started. Before going towards the new information according to today's lecture, let's have a review of our last lecture, that in this chapter what kind of things we have learned. As I told you that we have learned about the components of nervous system, and there are three main components, and these are brain, spinal cord and nerves. After this we have learned that our brain is the control center of our whole body. It receives messages from all parts of our body and issues the necessary commands to control the body's action. The brain is made up of special kinds of cells, and these cells are known as nerve cells. Whenever you hear the word nerve cells, they always indicate the cells of our nervous system. It means they are related to our brain. And there are three main parts of our brain, and they are cerebrum, cerebellum and medulla. The spinal cord is shaped like a tube. It starts from the medulla and goes down to the middle of our back. So these are the main points from our last lecture. So we are going to continue our lecture, and what kind of things we are going to learn. Let's begin. Dear students, as I told you many of the times that there are three main components of our nervous system, and these are brain, spinal cord and nerves, from which we have learnt about spinal cord and brain. Now this is the time to learn about nerves. So what are the nerves? Nerves are long, thin and specialized cells. Here I have written in the bracket that fibers. It means nerves are the cells that look like fibers, as you can observe in the background that how they are spread throughout your body. So nerves are long, thin and specialized cells that transmit messages from your between your brain and other parts of your body. It can be any of the fibers that carry the messages to or from the brain and other parts of the body. Nerves are bundled together. Remember this thing, nerves are bundled together into a complicated system that connects all parts of the body to the spinal cord and brain. Our nerves are located throughout our body, and you can say that from our skin through and round our organs and towards their center. And what is the center? That is the brain. Dear kids, as I told you that nerves are the fiber-like structure. They are long, as you can observe here. Okay, they are not circular shape or rectangular or square and round. They are long, thin. Okay, they are thin as well, as you can observe. These are two different types of nerves, but both are long and thin, and they look like fibers. Okay, and here you can observe that they are long and thin, but remember one thing, all the nerves are connected with one another in our body, and they make a network like structure in our body. Okay, so all the messages can travel from our any organ to the brain easily. Okay, so let's begin the next thing, and this is going to be, I guess, types. Yes, here are the types of nerves. As I told you on previous slide that nerves can be of different types. Okay, we have seen two different structures of the nerves on previous slide. It means there are more than one type. So here are the types of nerves, and there are three types of nerves. And these are sensory nerves, motor nerves, and connecting nerves. You can also call them as sensory nerve cell, motor nerve cell, and connecting nerve cell. Okay, if you consider or the if you concentrate on the word sensory, motor, and connecting, you will definitely know the function of these three types of nerves. Okay, so we are going to discuss them in detail one by one, so let's get started. Here you can observe three main types of nerve cells or nerves. Now you can see that all are the thin, long, and fiber-like structure. Okay, but they are different from one another, and their functions are also different. Okay, and they are named as sensory nerve cell, connecting nerve cell, and motor nerve cell. Let's discuss them one by one in detail. Let's begin with sensory nerve cells. Sensory nerve cells carry signals from sense organs to the spinal cord and brain. Okay, as the name is indicating, these are sensory nerve cells. It means they are present or located on our sense organs. We have five sense organs. Okay, and and all these five sense organs are having sensory nerve cells. So what happens? Sensory nerve cells carry signals from sense organs to the spinal cord and brain. The first type of neuron, okay, here the neuron is the word which we are using for nerve cell. Okay, so they can be called as nerve cells, or neurons. The first type of neurons is the sensory neurons, which have to do with touch and being able to feel pain. The sensory neurons can be found in our skin, muscles, joints, organs that indicate pressure, temperature, and pain. There are some sensory neurons in the nose and tongue that perceives as taste and smells. Neurons in the inner ear are sensitive to vibration and provide us with information about sound, or we can hear by them. Okay, how we hear the sound? Due to the neurons or due to the sensory nerve cells present in the ear. Nerves of the retina is the part of our eye, or the portion of our eye. Nerves of the retina are sensitive to light and allow us to see. Now here comes the second type of neuron or the nerve cell, that is motor nerve cells. The second type of neurons is the motor nerve cells that sends signals from brain and spinal cord to the muscles. And these are the signals that make the muscles move. Now here you can observe that sensory nerve cells and motor nerve cells, they are opposite of one another. How? As I told you that sensory nerve cells carry signals from sense organs to the spinal cord and brain like this. This arrow can show you the direction of nerves, that how they are sending the messages. Now, on the other hand, if we talk about the motor nerve cells, they bring these messages or the signals from brain to different organs or the muscles, and this is how we move our muscles. Okay, you can see the direction that messages are coming from our brain, and here messages are going towards the brain. This is the work of sensory nerve cells and motor nerve cells. Dear kids, now the third type of neuron or the nerve cells or the nerves is connecting nerves. Now see, the name is indicating us that these kind of nerve cells are connecting something. What kind of things they connect? First see the definition of connecting nerve cells. The third type of neurons is connecting nerve cells, which are the neurons that provide the connection. Now here you can observe they provide the connection between sensory nerve cells and motor nerve cells, as well as between themselves as well. Okay, now you can see that the connecting nerve cells connect the sensory nerve cell and the motor nerve cells. Remember one thing, that all the messages are going towards the brain through sensory nerve cells, and all the commands are coming from brain from motor nerve cells. Now the connecting nerve cells are found in brain and spinal cord. Okay, they are found in brain and spinal cord, where they connect, where they interact these two kinds of nerve cells, and they make the connection between these both nerve cells. Now these neurons are known for their part in making of the central nervous system and the brain, which all are connecting nerve cells. As I told you, connecting nerve cells connect or makes the connections between sensory nerve cells and the motor nerve cells.
Neurons can be categorized into three types: sensory neurons, motor neurons, and interneurons. Sensory neurons allow us to receive information from the outside world through our senses. The sensory neurons evoke the sensation of touch, pain, vision, hearing, and taste. These are usually present in the sensory organs like the eyes, inner ear, and so on, which send the signals to the spinal cord and the brain. Interneurons communicate and connect with each other and represent the majority of neurons in our brain. They allow us to think, see, and perceive our surroundings. Motor neurons are neurons that receive impulses from the spinal cord or the brain and send them from the muscles, causing muscular contraction, and these also affect the gland secretion.
I hope you have understood the lecture. You have got all the kinds of nerve cells and their functions, their types. So thank you so much. Here we are winding up our lecture. What you're directed to do, I want you to read your book properly and underline the important lines of your book. Remember one thing, all the reasons and name these will be written in the copy. Okay, there is not a single exercise which will be done in your book. If we get any exercise that should be done in book, so I'll mention in the assignment. Okay, but write down all the reasons and name these in your copy only. Okay, so thank you so much. We shall meet in the next class. Take care yourself. Allah Hafiz.